Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have a very special friend with me here. This is Rahma, and she's been my friend for years now. She's amazing and she was kind enough to let me do the makeup on her today, and she's very confident girl. Rahma, most of the time she doesn't even wear any makeup and she looks better than me with makeup. I should take notes from you, Rahma, on self-confidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't, both of us actually, we don't really wear makeup on a daily basis, but yeah, today we're going to show you how to highlight and contour on Rahma's beautiful skin, and also how to cover up some of the old acne scars that you may have, or if you have any discoloration or anything that needs to be corrected and concealed. So I'm going to leave you guys to Rahma for a minute to tell you her journey and her story on how she got rid of most of her acne and most of her scars, because Rahma's face wasn't
oily.
So yeah, she has oily skin, exactly. So I'm gonna leave you guys to her and let her explain to you properly what she used and how it helped her to better her skin, and then I'm gonna be back with showing you how to do the contour and highlight.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I started changing the way I eat last year. It was around July of 2014, and basically my skin is very oily and I usually get a lot of spots. Sometimes I get around my chin area, as well as you can see on my cheeks. So I had to change my diet, and then I changed from using Clinique, which is a little bit harsh on my skin before, and right now I'm using One Love Organic. And basically Maya introduced me to this product.
I'm guilty.
It's basically very gentle on your skin, and I use this every morning and every night. Once in a while as well, probably like around 3 times a week, I use the microderma scrub, which is also very gentle. It's not harsh on your skin. It won't make you red on the face, and it's also a mask, so you can actually put honey and mix it up with a little bit of water, and then you can have it as a mask, and it's very good. You have to drink a lot of water because you want your skin to be as healthy as possible. I use a moisturizer, and because my face is very oily, I use a balance fluid from Bruno Vassari, which is very good for balancing your skin. It's for oily skin, so the oil is really balanced now, so I don't have much of oily skin, and it's very smooth, and I put this every morning and every night. And at times when I do have breakouts, I put just a little bit of correcting cream, which is not really a cream, it's more like a gel, and basically I put it on the spot when I have a breakout, and I leave it on till morning, and it basically in the morning's all dried up. So that's basically it. So that's my regimen. You can still see the dents. Usually you can't get rid of the dents off from the scars, but at least the marks can come out. It's a gradual process, and usually takes a longer time because it's skin. It's
supposed to fade off.
It's supposed to fade off naturally.
I'm going to begin by applying her foundation, and today I'm using Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Foundation by Tarte. This one is oil-free, so it's perfect for people who have oily skin and tend to break out. It's very light and moussey in texture, so it sits very well on the skin, doesn't really clog up the pores or feel cakey at all. The only disadvantage is that don't have enough shades for the brown skin girls, so if you guys at Tarte are watching, please, if you can expand your shade range, will be perfect, then I'll get to use it on a lot more of my clients. Rahma's shade was deep, so I'm going to list all the products and everything that I used for her today in the description box below, so you guys can check that out. The reason I like using full coverage foundations for people with acne marks or any pigmentation marks is because I get to see how much of a corrector or concealer I have to use afterwards. This is why it's important that you apply your foundation first, and then you can correct and conceal afterwards. Now in Rahma's case, we don't have to use a corrector because the foundation covered up most of her marks and whatever was going on the skin, so we're not going to use a corrector. However, if you have any severe case of darkness and pigmentation, then you have to use a very rich orange shade of a corrector to counteract that darkness. Now I'm going to apply some concealer under her eyes and on the areas where I want to brighten them up. So I'm using the MAC Select Cover Up Concealer and this dual fiber brush. The reason I like using this concealer is because it dries pretty quick and sets very well, so it doesn't really crease. This is the thing I like about it, versus the very creamy concealers. They tend to crease and kind of sit on the skin, they just kind of settle into the lines. So just choose something that will dry quick and it's not going to crease, of course. So this is my ideal concealer. I'm going to buff that on the other side as well, and also around the mouth area and the nose area. Using this brush kind of works well for me because I'm kind of airbrushing it into the skin versus using a concealer brush, the stiff ones that they will basically just apply the product and you have to use a beauty blender or something to blend it out. This one kind of does two things in the same time. So I'm going to go over the marks as well. As you can see, guys, we've pretty much covered all the dark spots and areas with just the foundation and the concealer, so we didn't have to use the corrector. Lucky for us today. And now we're going to highlight and contour our face to give it some three-dimensional look. I'm using Anastasia's cream contour kit in the shade Deep, and I'm going to take this shade from the contour kit to just highlight underneath the eyes. And I'm not going all over because I've already applied concealer. I'm not going to cake up that area too much. So what I'm going to do is just go over the shadowy areas and a little bit in the center of her chin. Very, 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 very lightly. You don't want to apply too much of this product. Today I'm showing you how to contour and highlight with cream and powder products. However, if you want something that's very, very light for every day, then you can just use the powder contour kit and leave this one for special occasions and photo shoots. So now that we've highlighted her face, you can see we didn't use very light shade for the highlighting because we want it to look a little bit more natural. Next, I'm going to carve out her cheekbones, and I'm going to take the shade Espresso from the palette. The palette looks pretty light on the camera because of the camera setting that I had. Otherwise, in real life, it looks a little bit darker. So I'm going to take the shade Espresso. It's not the darker shade. I'm using a little bit lighter because I wanted it to look a little more natural and not so contoured. So I'm going to blend it out with this bigger dual fiber brush on the sides of the forehead. I carved out the cheeks already. I'm going to do the other side as well, and this gives the look really nice and three-dimensional look basically. So I'm carving out second cheek and going over with the bigger dual fiber brush to blend that out. Then I'm going to go over her jawline to kind of bronze it up and also gives it some definition, as you can see. So I'm just going over the jawline, and once we're done with that, we're going to be contouring her nose. So go over the sides with the dual fiber brush, and you can blend it out using your fingers or a fluffy blending brush for a more softer look. You don't want any harsh lines when contouring the nose because you really don't want it to look obvious that it's contoured. So make sure you shade the sides and just soften it out using your fingers. Then we're going to do the bottom of the nose as well, just a little bit, and then we're done. To set the highlighted parts, I'm going to use MAC Studio Fix Powder and this small brush by Real Techniques, and I'm going to set the areas where I've applied the concealer and the highlighter, basically underneath the eyes, and I'm just going to go over the lids. That will also stop the concealer and the foundation of creasing. Just the center of the chin and also the bridge of the nose, the center of the forehead as well, and just sharpen that contour line. Just go underneath it a little bit. Then I'm taking this bronzing powder by MAC. You can see it looks lighter. That's not how it looks like. It's just because of the camera settings or because of the light. It just looks like that, but it's not like that. I assure you guys, it's much darker. And then I'm using this bronzer to set the areas where I've contoured. So I'm using an angle brush. I'm going over the sides of the forehead and just underneath the cheekbones as well. Then I'm going to go over the jawline, and this will give it a very, very, very nice and kind of defined look. Basically, it's polished. Gives the face very, very nice glow as well as contouring it. So you can see it looks beautiful. It's a mineralized skin finish powder, so it's not heavy on the skin. Next, we're going to take this Carob powder from Anastasia's contour kit, and we're going to carve out the cheeks some more just to intensify that contour area. We're just gonna do underneath the cheekbones. We're not gonna do the sides. Now I'm taking the Betty Lou Manizer by the Balm, and this one is very nice and bronzing highlighter. I'm applying it on the highest points of her cheekbones. I'm not gonna go on the cheeks because that will accentuate her pores and we don't want that to happen, so we're just gonna go over those areas. And next I'm taking this blush by Makeupgeek and I'm gonna apply it in between the bronzer and the highlighter.
That was it for today's tutorial, guys. I've shown you how to highlight and contour, and I also showed you how to hide any acne scars. Rahma is now ready to go out for dinner with her husband. She's going out on her date and she's all made up. I'm going to show you guys in the next video how to achieve her eye makeup and her lip makeup as well, because it was going to be too long of a video if I put everything in one video. So this is why I split it in two. If you guys have any comments or any requests or any questions, please don't forget to leave them in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to put the link right here so you guys can click on it and subscribe to my channel. Thank you again for watching, guys. Love you all and see you soon. Bye. Mwah. Just keep straight like this.
Where are we supposed to face? Where?
The camera. Here.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay. Natural. Take 1, 2, 3.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I have a guest here with me. Is my friend. Wait. Blah, blah, blah.